Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And before we get going, I just want to apologize. My voice is a little more gravelly than normal because the grass pollen is quite honestly kicking me right in the face. But let's keep going. Today, we're going to talk about something that you are going to cherish. Put it on your wall, print it out, copy the link down in the description box, because somehow the New York Times opinion piece got past the editor and said, I quote, "Since assault weapon bans aren't coming back and the AR-15 is here to stay, here's what we do going forward." Seriously, everything we linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think in the comments field on this one, because this is something you need to see, because New York Times, something slipped up somewhere. And if you are new or you're a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and making sure you turn the notification bell on. We need as many of you as possible to get into the fold with us so we can share information just like this to pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation, just as it was to us. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration, and the content today is brought to you by Adams Arms. Now, Adams Arms is putting together a little course, a little bit of education on their Instagram page that they want you to be aware of. For example, what affects the velocity of your freedom? The accuracy? What about the cyclical rate? Everything will be on there, from gas tubes all the way to piston systems. There's a link in the description box below to check out that Instagram page, and thank you to Adams Arms for making this content possible. But my brothers and sisters, we have got to talk about something because hell just froze over. Enough of the setup. Check this out. Here's what we can do now about gun violence. Now, this came out today. This is from the New York Times. Again, it's linked if you don't believe me. But it starts off like every other gun control article you see from the New York Times. A litany of exasperating rituals flows from America's regular mass shootings. One of the most frustrating is the hand-wringing that our politics is so polarized that there's no way to move forward. And he's talking about the frustration of no gun control, but also no gun rights. It's kind of like a stalemate. That's what they're talking about, and they do that consistently, and they usually blame it on the Republicans. However, this took a hard turn to the right. Check out the next sentence. I am not trying to tease you. Let's get to the good stuff. Since assault weapon bans aren't coming back and AR-15 style rifles are here to stay, the most important thing we can do is modernize the background check system, around which there's a modicum of bipartisan consensus. That just snuck by the New York Times editors. Since AR bans are not coming back, period, and AR-15s are here to stay, period, they've got a whole lot of corrections and editorial pieces and fact pieces around gun violence that they're going to want to retract if this is their new stance. Now, I'm not going to tell you they're wrong, because they're actually right. AR bans are a thing of the past. They aren't going to come back. And AR-15s are here to stay because they are common use and protected underneath the Second Amendment. It's well known, even in the gun control circles. That's why we fight it every single day, and we have the upper foot on this. But for them to put it in the New York Times, something's up. This is why we fight every single day, to bring the nuance in and out to show you where we are going with this. But let's continue to the last part of this, because that's almost as damning as the first part. What's required is gritty work in the administrative trenches that won't get anyone elected, and there is substantial progress to report, but now we need more. So this writer is not only saying that those bans are not coming back and the AR-15 is here to stay, now he's saying that they're not going to get anyone elected, implying that shouting from the rooftops to get the AR-15 banned and assault weapons off the streets, weapons of war, what have you, is just to get people elected? Again, who got this out of the New York Times? But let's continue, because this is a thing. And then, in their whole shift to go, we need to focus on NICS background checks now, they're going to throw everything that we've been saying right out in the open around mental health care. Check this out. Mental health records provide an especially vexing example. State privacy laws frequently prohibit the sharing of records. Healthcare providers are hesitant too, and most states lack a contact person to collect the information and send it to the FBI. The FBI. So, does the word HIPAA mean anything to these people? The healthcare privacy is one of the things that they want to violate, so they get deeper background checks in a quest to prevent mental health. So the FBI now has your complete health records because they're so trustworthy right now. Let's continue. I'm going to show you some examples. Like I said, they've either fell down, got hit in the head, and woke up with a clarity that they haven't had before, or they're throwing their old arguments under the bus in order to get new ones around the NICS background check system. Here's some mental background check examples they use. In April 2007, murderer killed 32 people at Virginia Tech University with guns he bought despite a documented history of court-ordered mental health treatment, records of which never made their way into the system. So, mental health background, that has to be a one-off, right? Nope. You even put it in here. Here's the next one. Other issues involving mental health are perhaps more nuanced. Early reporting indicates that Mauricio Garcia, murderer, the gunman who this month killed 8 people at Allen Premium Outlets outside Dallas, was in 2008 expelled from the Army after 3 months, perhaps because of mental health issues. So they are now going down the road of actually explaining and exposing mental health issues, they're calling them, have a role to play in almost every single terrible situation that we have. And the media has swept it under the rug this entire time. It's obviously about the guns, but the New York Times piece right here is coming out and saying, yeah, those are here to stay. Let's move on. Let's look at the NICS background check. Because these were all mental health care issues anyway. Nashville, Colorado, Las Vegas, you can name them. A lot of them have a lot to do with mental health. But the fact that New York Times is coming out and putting out opinion pieces saying everything that I just showed you, it could be a one-off. It could be a complete weird flyer. Hell could have frozen over below us. I don't have any idea, but I want to know what you guys think, and I need to make sure I bring these things to you when I run across. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.